What's up guys, it's the Metaphorest and I am live and direct in NW6, you don't know, in Ends, for Wordplay and Flows first event at Hearth on Lonsdale Road. So I'm excited because it's nearby. Oh, and look who I've met. Woo.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh my god,
I was just vlogging.
I look
You're
like
good.
shit, but I will be on the vlog.
Introduce yourself for the people that don't know. You've not been on my vlog before.
No, I haven't.
No.
I get really jealous when I see people on your blog.
So I'll be filming your performance if you're okay with that too.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah.
I am NM.
Yay.
I am a spoken word artist. I'm based in North London, which is where we are right now.
It's the first event. We're kicking it off with a bang, and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay? I know we've got some great poets in here tonight. I know we're going to shell it down with the vibes and the words and the expressions. And listen, just have fun. Have fun with it. That's the main thing.
So it's called Girl, Woman, Alien. When I was 6 years old, I loved skipping in the playground in my denim skirt, pink and white shirt, letting the rope swing round and round, just like the roundabout, which flew so fast the folds of my clothes flared up and I balanced on my tiptoes. A bird flying free, playing catch with the boys. I pulled my pigtails and I clutched my toys. Another 6 years go by and I make the transition from little to big school. I become a woman in my parents' vision. I become 12. My eyes catch a denim skirt just like the ones that I used to wear when I was 8. But Mum says I can't wear those anymore because my arse is now baked. Turning conversation to my chest, she tells me to lay a scarf across my growing tits, but I'm too distracted by the painting kits. I get scolded into wearing a long and itchy cardigan to prevent all sight of my bare arms. As seconds go by, my limbs become an embarrassment, formed through the beading sweat on my palms. My elder women look at me different, like I'm a growing cancer. They reel me in check before womanhood sets the anchor. I am showered with longer dresses, scarves and jackets over my knees. I miss the simple art of dressing. How can I run in these? Each day my breasts are growing, my waist is dipping in, my hips are curved, and for my elders this is grim. My mother must be mumbling about how I need to look respectable for my fathers and my uncles. My womanhood is unacceptable. I am 12 and still young, so I don't question the culture. Prim and proper I must be for my male relatives inhaling a lingering vulture. But I am bestowed with the sight of the patriarchal gaze. That woman's body is the curse of the family party. Mum inspects my choices before we leave the house. The body is the trap and the man is the mouse. Of course, you must wear a hijab. The devil rests on your head. Boys will look at you and think you want them in their bed. I am 12 and 12 is shame. It is apparent as I walk through the door. Even in summer I must swelter so my father thinks me not a whore. This growing body is a black burden, I know. Adult men and women painted it as such. Pain, hormones, blood, I think womanhood will be too much. I think I know what awaits me. It doesn't sound so pretty. Stretch marks, tweezers and tampons and discharge from my kitty. Have shame, girl. Know what your parents fear most. The appearance of skin where devil plays host. Yes, a woman's body is wretched. What a stigma to think about. But my blossoming proportions don't understand that. I rush out the door again, planning on how to survive school. My father blankets over me the latest stress rule. For I have ceased girlhood. I must be aware of my burden. The one signalled by puberty, it's time to shut the curtain. Woman's skin shall not be seen, never in this household. The blossoming adulteress will be neatly covered even when dying and old. My parents break the news of this getting older. My legs are sinful, as are my chest and my shoulders. Cover yourself, fail yourself. Your body is shudder, don't fail yourself. I feel shame. I am no longer a girl of 6 playing a game.
I'll do a Valentine piece and then I'll do a social justice piece. Sweet, sweetest, sweetest is this love. You and I walking at wondrous walls, peach blossoms cascading beneath our feet. Your scarlet robes glow in the shimmering rays with an elegance and poise unmatched, even by the glimmer of the radiant sun. We kowtow 3 times, face each other with smiles from heaven, bowing once more to the vows of matrimony. Our memories engage as past dreams unfurl, our souls savoring the sweetness of supernal wine. My core emits beauty, trembling with the magical thrills of happiness as a symphony of melodies enchant me, blending in harmony with the eloquence of the psalmist David. The pink peonies glisten, opening the firmament to make ready the glowing sacrifice of roses. Lavenders augment their fragrance, even as the jasmines blush and the bridesmaids pay homage to this magnificent setting. Butterflies dance in circling loops as the grove becomes a kaleidoscope of colors, more bewildering than sunsets and stars. Clouds create formations, singing silent arias to the testimony, while the cheeks of my Shyama become adorned with sense and majesty. Here in this tenderness and fullness, the red breast gives us feathers so we could fly. Rainbows paint colors on our cheeks as the lips merge, quivering with bashfulness. Touched by reverence, my heart sang 1,000 ballads, even as tears flowed, rallying victory songs from paradise. The agony of past challenges became the sweetest possible wine. Today the starlings sing I love yous to the sparrows, even as the bluebells glow and canaries laugh ecstatically. Shafts of light descend as our souls merge, whispering praises to love. Poison at the end of the food chain is very rarely its source. Lightning strikes with blinding speed, yet the burnt tree knows that it came from above the clouds. The tyranny of oppression is not new, but an enemy of man, sweeping down the path of centuries. When a dying man says, I can't breathe, it is really a complex and repeated echo, a poignant and tragic one indeed, leaving the heavy stain of grief, sighing on the living breath of countless souls. Dying from the coldness of another reawakens a cry of longing for equality and justice by the oppressed, who seemingly won the battle against the brutality of slavery, only to fight another war for survival. The very presence of excessive greed defines by nature unjust elements in a society which is either duplicitous, complacent, or indifferent. There is an ingrained history of abuse of power, insecurity, and mistrust. Like all chronic afflictions, the remedy is painfully slow, and the wheels of pain keep spinning in ghettos. As such, social disparity prevails, together with hunger and deprivation, breeding strife in the hearts of the dispossessed. A wise man once said, the best remedy for the soul is love. But what if it doesn't work, said the skeptic. Then increase the dose, the seer replied. Yet whales run red, echoing in Central Africa. Each heinous crime diminishes me, weakens the spirit of a community which inherently wish to live peacefully side by side, but is instead forced to address the ravages of disorder. So while the light of the firefly is no match for the stunning effects of moonlight, even a candle of hope can light up the sky. My eyes are not as powerful as the sun, yet they see colossal things. Like moths, some rush to the seeming light, which is none other than darkness. Callousness reigns in many hearts. The dead blames the ones that are dying. The cry of each soul longs for freedom, tugging at sunrise upon the dawn and sunsets on the horizon. Meanwhile, confusion reigns in the light of day, while we weep in the shadows, striving to love against a background of pain and complacency. Tomorrow is another day, and today well spent prepares and shapes my journey. I rise at dawn, hear the lark sings, and aspires to its eloquence and vivacity. The charm of daffodils and seasonal spring fills my heart with wonder, and I taking another breath, joyful to be alive. Sea water rushes towards me, bringing a rhythmic melody, a reflective piece of music of everything that is good and noble, full of peace and light. I bow in sweet reverence, offer myself to the glories of creation, wishing all kindred spirits would breathe this love. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
And I'll start with retrograde reality. We only care for things which are in our vicinity, physically, figuratively, or metaphysically. Place value on people with familiarity when in actuality it should be basic humanity to show compassion and empathy, regardless of chemistry. The idealistic perspective of acceptance is subjective, whilst the rudimentary realization of rejection is regressive. You can choose to live for momentary matters or monumental merits, manifesting into magical moments. Each merit accredits time indebted to something progressive or regressive. Passive is regressive unless it's objective, subjective to the information collected, margins, volume, and metric. Initial intentions are intercepted by interconnected introspective, in perspective. So I put it in perspective. In hopes to come to a collective cognitive contraceptive for the IC3 in every intersection of legal interjection from the inception. To keep our minds from getting infected by negative negligence of case, law, and precedence. To debunk the diluted evidence based on lack of relevance to the subject matter in questioning. Well, what is the question? How can two people commit the same crime but one get more time? Like the law ain't colorblind. You can go back to a time before they conquered mine and see the scenes they left behind and see what the laws got in mind for people of a colored kind. From the perpetual impediment of racial sentencing to the regressive resettling of BAME residents because of economic deficit or stereotypical rhetoric. The idea that gentrification provides economic stimulus. Well, it does. But it also highlights wealth differences by underpinning the underprivileged for their socio-economical disfigurement. From a corporate investment to a government intervention, each project projects profits poised for each proposition, depending on the type of property, area, and its condition. Even if you own it or it's up for eviction due to lack of income, it's all still part of the same monarchy, aka the royal system. How can a system, which is designed to keep in line a population which isn't inclined, ever climb? Well, bear in mind, those in power reap rewards larger than the divide between those who fall in line and those who fall behind. The integrity of those in charge is what determines who best scores and who bears scars. I mention my position to the imposition of wealth difference as it relates to my current condition, similar to those who share my skin pigment. Furthermore, I see the systemic and systematic flaws of each aspect of law, from common law to civil law to criminal law. Each law is based on the actions of premises before, not taking into account how the world has changed evermore. Oh wait, that's what they have amendments for. But the intended amendment clearly highlights that the law is intrinsically flawed, leading to self-deprecation of the intended cause. So, what are my actions for? To show what we already know, but choose to ignore, in hopes to highlight the indifference, to make a difference in the distance, simply if you choose to listen. It's your decision. This poem is called The Soul is Greater Than the Mind, which is greater than the body. And it begins. Thank you. I'm trying to decipher the picture you couldn't even envision. My mind is free from the consequential system that keeps us locked and conditioned. Asking the questions, most people wouldn't want to listen. Why? Because to me, it makes a difference in the long scope and distance. Longevity isn't guaranteed, but integrity builds character and creed, leaving landmarks by the way that you lead. Your lineage and legacy live longer than you could ever see. Oh, someone's trying to come in?
Keep going.
Sorry. The paradox of personality is perpetuated by perspective. People tend to believe what they can touch, feel, and see, but at the end of the day, we don't know what could be. Posing hypotheses, but we can only wait to hope and see. Simplicity is the key to synchronicity. Linguistic liquidity mixed with creativity creates fluidity, with a plethora of possibilities to live differently, i.e. free of idiocies and impediments, which are vicious vices vicarious in their nature, oftentimes self-induced and reduced to the tight noose held so close, it becomes cutthroat. Oh, only if you had known how your own actions have shown the seeds you've sown leaves each to their own with their deeds and them alone. Because we are submerged within our own urges, only unearthed when they come to the surface, revealing our inner thoughts, biggest burdens, reliving vivid versions of images reoccurring, losing sight of your deeper purpose. So, live for yourself or lose your identity. Love for pleasure, to enjoy passion, remember memories, to fulfill desires, question everything, to answer what you wish to acquire before your downfall transpires, becoming your own dumbfounded liar, unable to rise higher than the outer attire. Look for truth where lies flourish, in order to acknowledge what's honest and find solace in a little space, i.e. old office or a flourishing forest, finding new meanings. A flourishing forest, finding new meanings for the same things you believe in. It becomes self-revealing, in itself relieving any hidden feelings. Have a lovely evening.
So as we came in, I saw the camera go up. I was like, yes, the cameraman's here. And then I was like, then we're all talking and getting to know each other. And I'm like, I'm like, John the metaphorest is coming up. Who's that? And she's like, I was the cameraman's coming up. Okay, but then whilst we were talking, he was just like, I was like, I've got to do, he was like, you're performing tonight? I was like, yeah, I've got to do something for Tanika. Because Tanika likes a certain type of poetry that I do.
Carla, why is my name coming up like all the time?
Jeez.
Because it's about, we've got to give you your flowers, babe. All the time.
Give me the flowers.
Give the flowers, babe. Okay. So, yeah. So, and he's like, yeah. And she's like, you might need to do a duet because he does a certain type of poetry. And I was like, is it? I was like, it's spice. He was like, yeah, it's a little spice.
Jesus.
So, without further ado, can we have a loud round of applause for John the Metaphorist?
So I don't do this poem a lot, so it's a bit long. Well, here we go. Groove is in the heart. I had nothing to compare it to. She was rhythm, and rhythm is a dancer without a partner. Frolicking like a flame, her hair flickering, whipping tongues of tresses swaying, skipping along her dresses. She addresses the company of men being tested. Men, ever trying to put her luster to rest within their heads, visions of her in their beds, the two of them in the kitchen raising toasts and having herself spread as she melts. We were our alter egos without alterations. The spark between us put a fire in my step while looking for my reflection in her. We were palpable, all heat, no flames, apart from her hair. My heart of wax cried in my heart of flame. Lashed tears were stalactites of hanging daggers that dangled above the pit of my stomach, looking over at my guts that hadn't yet shown themselves. Her emerald eyes were never green with envy. Even when she saw red, her green flashed and she was aglow with gold. Her allure was like tendrils keeping the brave at a radius close. a fiery redhead with the features of a Kate Mara or eyes of Fisher. Do we not see the value in pretty pictures? She's a unicorn to be looked at, but don't unicorns grant wishes? Her rhythm never had a misstep. If there was a regret, it would be kept a Victoria's secret. The dress sleeveless, the hem like a pool theatre curtain. Armed with a charm to both men and women, she was gracious on their arm. A man-made gift to women, a charm bracelet. Rhythm never came with the blues. Dressed to kill, me and my temptress in a red dress, heeled in blue suede shoes. Dancing with the devil, her proximity was divinity. And I, with the back of my hand and thumb, ran along her clavicle, traced back to her left shoulder while in hold, my hand below her shoulder blade, pulling along the back of her dress that margined her décolletage. My unwitting angel, not knowing that I found where her grace lies, in the spotlight, radiant and white hot, encompassing our halo microcosm, no strings attached, informal, no shirt, no ties, just our bodies entwined. Her waistline at one with my baseline.
Yes, Carla.
Our lips kiss, interlock like our fingers engaged in slow dance, folded hand in hand in half prayer. Her kisses were French, her passion Italian. We borrowed feelings iconic lovers had lent, volatile and intense with the swiftness of stallions. All that was missing was magnolia in her hair and a cliche of flowers. Cantarella, my poison companion. What witchcraft is this? There's magic in her fingertips. Her grip at the nape of my neck, I was collared in bliss. To the outside, a capricious twist. Armored by a Moor, hers in Christian Dior. But I see pockets of it. Love is blind, that's why it seems to have never found you in time. It robs you of it. Your mind and anything solid. She speaks, I too, though our words are only lightly touching. Aware that us paired has others scared, herself brushing up on my rough skin. And we continued into the dark, purposeful night, dancing a skyline, moving in semicircles, orbiting and sailing, undertaking odd shows and salidas in space, harboring only two corporeal bodies, sandwiching us fleetingly in time. River. Jesus. I'm going to do this one. This one's kind of a favourite. It's a quick thing. Baby plays with toys and a playpen. I pay her mine, but she can't tell me where her brain went. Baby plays with toys and a playpen. I pay her mine, but she can't tell me where her brain went. Hearts and minds taken, I want to be painting. Reupholster your walls, interior decorating. Count down. I want to take a knee and a vow. Find letters to pen letters because I want to find words to write a vow. See where we go now. Courtesy. Bow. You, goddess, you. Have you had anyone kiss your wrists instead of your lips? Here's where your majesty lives. These veins carry more than just hemoglobin and oxygen. They take away stress. You have bled more than enough. You, goddess, you are enough. You, goddess, you. Have you had anyone held your hips or held your gaze? Here is where our energy lives and where our names are prayed. These have me holding on to you while we get carried away. Coordinating our sacred merges that further our fervor. You, goddess, you are nurture. You, goddess, you. Have you had anyone sit before your lap? Here is where my attention sits. Before anything I serve. Here I taste your essence and have my appetite whetted. Now then my prayer, I speak tongues in your presence. Sorry. Alright, redirection. You, goddess, you are sublime. You embody miracles. I become time, for I'm forever putting my hands all over you. You materialize wealth in change. Change you bring is never short. It is never shadows under a door. Your goddess is kept chronic. Your hands are kept honest with goddess work. You find words before you find nerves. You imbue kindness and find worth. I'd confess your logic, but I wouldn't find words to craft upon it. You, goddess, you are you. You, goddess, you.
So, first one I'm going to do is called In Me. And
Okay.
here we go. I'm in my head because you're on my mind. And I keep stumbling over myself because these feelings have me loving you blind. I say that to show you that I'll follow you wherever you go. And if that means spiritually, then that's okay because angels need protecting too. Who's to blame for this? Should it be me for loving you, caught in a place where my feelings are uncontrollable? I blame love. Love did this. It was hard, but at first, I opened up and gave you the unrefined parts of me. You're thinking that I've cracked the code, that I've got this. You're thinking this love thing was well easy. But you were using cheat codes too. We both played games and at times we did it unfairly. This is how I know playing games in my relationship isn't for me. Nah, I blame you. You did this. Your mind, your body, your heart, your soul. Why did every element of you have to be so sexy? You don't have to go right now. You don't have to go right now. Don't go. Don't go. You don't have to go right now. You don't have to go right now. Don't go. Don't go. They say love, it can be blind. But I've seen it being unkind. I've me wondering if it often switched between the two running game from time to time. We used to do so many different things to unwind. We had our alone time. You made me grease your hair, then massage it. Your head tilting back with your eyes disappearing behind those beautiful blinds. Your body and I having conversations. It's language telling me that you are mine. If I say I didn't think about you, then my actions would say that's a lie. If I say I didn't miss you, then just read my poems. They're a clear indication that I had to fill this gaping void. Or is it that I'm here experiencing something that love previously recommended to me? No, I'm in my heart. Because you're here also. I don't want to, but I must ask you to leave. It's in me. Like the sound of 1,000 raindrops racing to quench the thirst of the scorched earth. Such was the wetness of my tongue, eager to carry out its righteous work. That sound you hear, the one increasing with every second, is the sound of your heartbeat reacting to the tender touch of my hands. The way I'm turning you on, it gives new meaning to the term self-harm, as you bite your lips to deal with the intensity of my seduction. No, your fingers are called into action, gripping any and everything, hoping to keep your body anchored after each reaction. An impossible task, as by now you're vibrating as a result of your body's levitation. Love is in the air, the unconditional type. Here, everything that was promised will live up to the hype, because I am that type who will go above and beyond to ensure all is explored if I believe you are my type. From the soles of your feet to the curves produced by your thighs, to the dimples on your lower back, just above the arch. That I particularly like. Paying close attention to the shape your body takes when you cross your legs. Bending my mind around the curvature of your waist. Wrapping my mind around the figure that you were blessed with. I'm loving the way your waist gyrates with the sway of your hips. You're doing it again. It's happening again. Girl, your body's making me trip. Alright, compose yourself. Alright. Tell me though, do you want me to stop? Because I can, but you'll be missing out on the explosion that I'm trying to set off with these hands. Internally imploding, your body producing the wetness needed to prevent friction. Turning our love making into a potentially hazardous one. Because it's slippery when wet, and right now I'm feeling dangerous, man. So I'm personally trying to slip and slide each and every second. I'm not here to rush. Savoring the moment is all a part of the plan, which I intend to execute with pinpoint precision. Your entire body sensitive, tender to the touch, sending signals encouraging your senses to quickly wake up. Reservations push back to the point of no return. Submission is the only direction, and tonight, you're going to learn. Neck fully exposed, your lights headed from the pressure that you currently bear. So I feast on the flavor of your neck, leaving clear evidence that I was there. I'm administering these love bites with exceptional care. Pulling me in closer, your fingers breaking skin. You're leaving your own unique imprints. As you react, I inspect your every curvaceous slope. I'm thinking, this is playing out exactly how I had hoped. The way you peek, back to back, long and short. Your body confirming my love making is a multi-dimensional work of art. Bodies wrapped around each other like ribbons caressing a Christmas gift. And the best part is unwrapping you. Oh, how I look forward to it. Two bodies at one point, far separated from each other. Now we're both indulging as we're about to come together. Your face saying it all as your eyes roll back. That I'm not missing, but hitting all the right spots. Thank you very much.
I am unbroken. I am Boadicea on a chariot, charging to her death, embracing mortality over capture. My shattered heart will be bound by no cage. I am the time I was beautiful, trapped eternal in a snow globe. Magical. Perfect in its imperfection. Treasured and safe from you. I am unafraid. I am the warrior at the front of the tribe, protecting those without a voice and guiding the way for those who have yet to find it. I am Leia, the general and fighter, I am Ripley, the last to survive. I am Billy the Kid. If you shoot, I'll shoot you faster. I am the first Mrs. Rochester, sailing across oceans, bathed in the moonlight of her madness with the sight of 1,000 eyes. I am awake. I am the lioness in the watchtower. I see everything. No matter how you try to disguise it, I hear everything and I know what you said. I may have forgiven, but this mortal body does not possess the ability to forget. I am the matriarch, protecting her herd, keeping them safe in formation and ready to die alone. I am the wolf. Cannot tame me. I am the fox that you will never catch. I am the child. You didn't ruin me. I am the destroyer, burning it to the ground. I am the earth, playing games with the moonlight. I am the air, heavy in your lungs. I am the mother. My children surround me. Their unborn hearts beat the drum to which I stand. I am the blind. I am the blind. I am the blind.
You got this.
Guided by my senses, I am the lost. Damn it.
Come on.
I am the blind, guided by my senses. I am the lost, crying out to be found. I am the reborn by the might of my own mind. I am the dead who will live forever inside. I am unbroken. I am not what you made me. I am not what you discarded, spat out, and left behind. I am unbroken, reset and outspoken, unashamed, uncensored, unbound. Thank you very much.
Yeah. My name is salientvoice.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Say it.
It's okay. So that's spelled SALIENT, which means to be important.
Yes, you are.
I've got two pieces.
Come on.
One of them is called Lines. I actually don't know this off by heart, so bear with me. I'm not going to give an introduction about the poems, I'm just going to go straight into it. I'm scared of this repeating itself. Not allowing my lines to breathe and constantly putting it back. I'm itching to live in the light because it's hard to see when it's dark when you're living this life. I'm scared of this repeating itself. The stumbling block I place in front of me to purposely stop my lines from being free. These words run tirelessly through my mind. They want to cling onto each other and make beautiful lines, powerful lines, lines that are constructed originally. Lines that are arranged purposefully to ignite a personal relationship with you, to let you know that your truth is real, true. But I'm scared of this repeating itself again. So I have come to the realization I have to set these lines free. Lines that cut through layers of skin. Lines that hear the pains and groans of the soul when it screams. Lines that can heal, lines that can liberate. Lines that don't choke up feelings or harbour them and label them as having no meaning. Lines that can trace familiar roads back to humble beginnings. Lines that aren't scared to speak the truth. Lines that are confident to take leaps of faith into the unknown. Lines that bring the greed of a king straight right down from his throne. Lines that can edify seeds that we try to plant on our own and wonder where the fruits are. Lines that can soothe the soul, soothe the human dome and allow you to feel right at home. Lines that can mend the heart. Lines that stay put and doesn't depart. Lines that are bodacious. Lines that guards the soul. Lines that brings a warm embrace. Lines that can check you and fix you right back in your place. Lines that brings remembrance of why you started this and why backing out shouldn't be one of your choices. So I choose not to trade these lines. I have them all at my fingertips, gently touching every water and allowing it to understand the current as it speaks. So I'm not scared of this repeating itself again. When it comes, I'll smile, because I know it's the beginning of a new wave. These lines will always be at my fingertips, yearning to connect to the water, because these lines are bombshells in every ocean I encounter. Okay, make me calm down a little bit. Thanks for this space, Tanika. This is beautiful. Like, it's amazing just how intimate it is. This next piece is called Forward, and I'm purposely doing this piece because of who is headlining tonight. Because when he headlined, first time for me anyway, I actually opened the show and I opened it with this poem. So you're headlining tonight? Why not? Right, so yeah. I try to mesh the words in my mind, hoping it connects like the words in my rhymes, but I fail at it. Inner critic getting loud with things, screaming from mountain tops like, we're proud of it. And that sucks, so I get stuck. Judging from the corner, looking at every action my mind sends to my being, and I ponder, contradicting lies like I warned her. So my mind plays tricks. Should I Ray Charles this or stay true to my heart like Stevie Wonder? Oh, let the good times roll. I want to fast forward to the good times already, but my mind's held captive, archived lies like, wait, no, you're not ready. So I file it, I accept it and download it before it's too late to reject it. The main line in my frame of mind has already been made to subject this fabricated delusional lies, and what's the worth, mate? No profit. So I choose to forfeit. I choose to fake it so that I can make it, but I return to the motion that I mess with. A vicious cycle, past trauma that I ain't dealt with. I'm sure this ain't what life is supposed to be about. God help me. Because I'm trying to unlearn things. I want to push, keep pushing till I can't breathe, till the pain cuts deep and it stings, till I'm not held up with apparently strong strings, till I can reach the top and watch the blessings my hard work brings, till I can stand firm confident that you brought me to my every win. Because I know this vicious cycle is only a fling. Because I'm about to pop up on this situation, let it know that I'm jumping out of this ship. Because this ride ain't wavy no more. It moves brazy for sure. I tend to lose my way some more. But see, I'm stepping on some waters. I'm holding on to the truth and it's scaring all my haters. No, not humans, but if the shoe fits, go ahead and be aware of. Because in this life, I'm about to get clearer. Speak louder of my demons. Watch this voice, he ain't salient for no reason. Move everything to the side because I'm stepping with a whole different vibe. Because I'm the rider. And the driver is the baddest provider.
Anyway, so the piece I'm going to do tonight is called Power Parasites. 160 stars placed on a casket. Decorating soldiers helps to sweep an illegal war under the carpet. Best-selling book, American Sniper, reveals him wishing he'd killed more Iraqi savages. And have you seen the film? 3 times they show Iraqi kids picking up weapons, portraying an enemy those poor little children. They were not the enemy, it was hegemony. Hollywood's propaganda projections, how they rewrite history. Innocent, not evil kids died in a pursuit for power and oil. Those left to survive in obliterated turmoil, red, white and blue flags fly high, proudly claiming to have saved humanity. No. Nah. They paved the way for the continuum of their insanity, allowing them to proceed with their low-frequency viral greed. Government gangsters breed cold-blooded killers, put them in uniforms and call them heroes. Does there need to be a third world so that the first world can exist? Do people need to suffer just so that the 1% can live in bliss? Can we really dismiss the killing and the bombs? Is all of that okay? As long as it's not happening to our people, can we really just turn our heads and look the other way? If you read The Sun or you listen to any mainstream news, then you could be a lefty with right-wing views. Because that's how the power parasites grow. They make us take each other's tomorrows, then leave us to drown in each other's sorrows. They generate hate. It keeps us moving at a low vibrational rate. It helps them to orchestrate mass control so innocent can be branded criminal, then killed by a hero. Government gangsters feed terrorists with the spoils of colonization. It's not just Islam extremists that tap into a broken nation. It's why the Catholics turn to the IRA. It's why black people are still denied a peaceful protest until this day. This is why Palestinians fight bullets with rocks in slings. This is why the caged bird sings. Because they've got men in uniform killing, believing that they are doing the right thing. They make us take each other's tomorrows, then leave us to drown in each other's sorrows. But an awakening is happening.
Big fact.
Guns and gases cannot stop a conscious evolution. Time is change. Hope is magic. Hawkins said, love is our most powerful energy source. When we learn to tap into it, the possibilities will be infinite. So if we learn to heal each other's sorrows, maybe we can start to take back each other's tomorrows.
You're going to go on a journey with me. And I'm not going to let you know if it's real or not. But just listen. But just listen. I've dreamed of you. Your poise, your stature, your alpha. I've thought a million thoughts while I gaze 1,000 daydreams, all in preparation to meet my bittersweet. I didn't anticipate your arrival so smooth and deep. The connection, of course. I don't quite remember our first encounter, but I knew you were for me and could suppress, caress, and tend to all of my needs. It all started with the increased conversations, the good mornings, afternoons, and every free lesson. I would yearn to be in your presence, and when I knew it was you, I'd descend and ensure I was close in every moment and instant. And then on to the tension. Ooh. The tension. that every time you touch me, I soak the clothes hiding up this juicy, never-ending, soaking wet path to ecstasy. I know you're hard for me.
Say that again.
That every time you touch me, I soak the clothes holding up this juicy, never-ending, soaking wet path to ecstasy. I know you're hard for me. So stop fighting that ferocious feeling and place that trunk where it needs to be. So stop fighting that ferocious feeling and place that trunk where it needs to be. Inside of me. The interactions become intense. The feelings become overtly mutual, and the hypothetical situations are raging to become our norms. But life's complicated. Put two loyal entities in a sticky journey of emotional Tom and Jerry, they may just conform. So we accept our universal law of attraction and seal this mutual link with twisted metaphors and what-ifs. Truth is, I want you. And at the most unexpected of times, I feel you. I feel I need you. For you are the king I desire, the man my inner queen needs to melt under. I need to be most vulnerable under. I know the restrictions are restricting, but I'm willing to make that breakthrough. And here comes another daydream. He walks up to me from behind, wraps his huge arms around me, presses his stiffened manhood between the cheeks of my backside, and thrusts me closer. He then dejects both of my breasts from the vest they found comfort. Nipples stiffen and arise as coffee to its caffeine on a winter's morning. Okay. He dejects both of my breasts from the vest they found comfort. Nipples stiffen and arise as coffee to its caffeine on a winter's morning. I exhale. He pauses. I flex my neck while he slides his roughened hand down the front of my lace, and then he allows his phalanges to ballroom and intertwine with my rose gold heightened climax point. I inhale. He reaches further down into my Eden and finds my fuchsia portal. And without awareness, my lace is undone and my back becomes arched in submission. I turn around and we lock lips vigorously whilst caressing all parts, leaving nothing untouched. I kiss him from the neck to the navel. I'm stopped at the protrusion of his grey sweatpants. I pull out his... Alright, come on, girls. I'm stopped at the protrusion of his grey sweatpants. I pull out his beaming bamboo and place it onto my clear pink. He holds the back of my head and grinds between my... Letting out a deep sigh with each glide, I become his muse as he stares down at me. I look up in honour of tasting his Lindor pole of passion. He springs me up, then he enters. He springs me up, then he enters. He stiffens, my breasts stiffen, the portal tightens, and he proceeds towards succession. While he enters and exits simultaneously, I lose all sense of resistance. He thrusts and deepens while I moan and groan louder and tighter whilst he whispers the secrets of Pandora's box soothingly into my soul. Things fasten. I inhale, I exhale, he grabs my esophagus, I grab his thigh, I submit, I lose tension, it's happening, the king is about to reign. And just as the juices drip from my person all around his third eye, I'm snapped into reality. The school bell has rung. The students are rushing in, I'm in a cold sweat and again in disbelief. Someday you'll make it more than just a dream and you make me release this steam all over you.
I'm Sheila, I'm 19.
two poems.
Yes.
The first one is called The Bond We Had. It's just really about my introduction to heartbreak. So, yeah. Okay. Sorry. The bond we had was that many only dream of. It was uniquely suited to the frequency of our souls, which at one point practiced the synchronization of the gods. But we fell from grace into the faulted arms of heartache. And now as I look back at the bond that we had, I feel pain, I feel nostalgia, and I feel abandoned. The bond calls to me in the darkest of night. It dances in my eyes and it dances down my face. This bond is one that will never be forgotten by me. Maybe I've become a memory, a faint figure hated and buried underneath pain. But sometimes I question it all. I question my motives. I question their legitimacy. I question whether I'll ever know a bond like such again. And I feel fear. Fear that our bond meant nothing. Fear that I've been abandoned. Fear that I've been forgotten. Fear that my impact was so minimal, whereas yours was so detrimental. Fear that I'll run back into the arms that caused me discomfort and pain at the cost of myself. Fear that I'll never not love you. I miss you in ways that I think you understand, craving your presence, not for the physicality, but rather for the aura, the ambience of your care, of your love. A love so uniquely suited to me, a love that I can only call perfect because I know no better. Wishing I could break this down to you, but in the face of our bonds, I know no words. In the face of your love, my familiarity with the human communication dissipates. I forget my points, I forget my intentions, and it all distorts. And I know it's not your fault, but it just shows how overpowering this bond was, is, and will be. It shows that I made a mistake. No, I didn't. I made a conscious choice to throw away our bond for my sanity, for my bond with myself. And when I gave into the emptiness of being, I hoped that logic would overpower this bond. I hoped that sanity would combat loneliness, but it didn't. And that's why I lay here struggling to cope with the concept of being alone, a concept I was so familiar with, a concept I had learnt to embrace. You untaught the default I had found in loneliness, but I can't say I love you anymore, not because I don't, but because I won't. The day I stopped feeling sad and longing to go back to a bond which provided instability is the day I turned to euphoria. Okay, so this second poem is a bit different. It doesn't have a title. I'm just going to go straight into it. Do you want me to write you a love song? Stranger than fiction, bridging the gap between delusion and reality, exploring whether I perfected you in theory or whether you were perfect to begin with. A net of fidelity, adultery only of the mind, the desperation and desire of another life and another thought, a distant fantasy with shades of you. If in the end I'm back where I started, I won't pity myself. I want to taste the charcoal taste of remembrance and open my mind to the sounds of memory. What is there to find in a life of the hopeless save memory? Life is an experience, so when I feel hollow and the shame and discrepancies lurk in the back of my heart, I chant reassurance to myself that nothing really is. In this skull of mine there is an eternity of chatter, but in this soul of mine there is nothing but silence and mourning. There's no need to explain the calamity that comes along with wanting you. The burn in the lining of my heart, the yearning for you, the love that isn't love, the lust and desire, short breaths and synchronized hearts, pure bliss. Things you can't say with your mouth, things you say through touch. I love it. Course through or pumping through my veins. It's enough without the despair, it's enough without the darkness. Nervousness laced with comfortability, I can taste the infatuation, passed off as nonchalance, when in reality I pray to catch you staring and pouring crashes of obsession into my heart in the way I do yours.
And this morning I woke up to my first Instagram troll. Never been trolled on Instagram before, but I woke up to some comments on one of my posts. Just nonsense comments from somebody. Click the page, 0 followers, 0 following, and just a blank page that someone's just created just to leave these comments. So I deleted the comments and then they proceeded to write the comments again. And I was like, wow, like, who is this? So anyways, I blocked the account, I deleted the account. And then 5 minutes later, I get a follow from another page, same blank thing, commenting again. So I thought, oh my God. So I put my account on private. So I have a social media based poem that I wrote a couple months ago, and I did an audio visual for it on my Instagram. So I was sitting there and I thought, if I'm going to share anything today, I'm going to share this, because I feel like right now there's so much pretense going on social media. So many people like put up things that isn't a true reflection of what they go through on a day-to-day basis. Like, I've been guilty of it and I can hold my hands up and say that. I've posted the most glamorous pictures in times when I have been like the most depressed that you can possibly imagine. So my poem is basically called Pay Attention, and it is really just for people to open up their eyes and see beyond what people are sharing, like what people are actually putting out, because sometimes your friends are calling out for you, but you're only seeing what they're putting up. So yeah, this is called Pay Attention. I don't know it off by heart, so I will read it. Okay. Pay attention. I hope you know I share the following with good intentions. Pay attention. Don't just be a blind believer. It is often said that seeing is believing, but my eyes have shown me that believing can be deceiving. So pay attention. All that glitters certainly ain't gold. Most are simply hoping that their true colors don't show. Pay attention, especially to the ones that you think you know. Their lives on display, but their reality is unknown. Stop buying into the mantra that they are living their best lives. Sometimes this is a lie designed to mask the fact that they are dying inside. So give it time. The truth will eventually reveal itself and present itself as the mirror selfie they just want to delete. But they can't, because that image makes them complete. Because you see, no filter can correct the imperfections that they are holding underneath. Pay close attention. Not to the bodies that are visible, but to the minds that are hidden. Those saints that you see on your IG are often the ones carrying sins they desperately want forgiven. But it is forbidden to show the dark sides of their soul, so they speak righteousness, hoping that no one will ever know quite how low they are willing to go to keep their perfect lives on show. Now, let me switch your attention to the couples that you call goals. Their struggles covered up by date nights, fake smiles, Insta lies. I've seen it all in real life. Typing up that anniversary post with tear-filled eyes, gotta smile, declaring love between two people who hardly speak, often cheat, and live a life of pure deceit. But they know that's not what the people want to see or what they want to believe. So they keep up this pretense because they don't want this fairy tale story to end. But the reality is, it ended long before they even pressed send. And finally, let me take you to the oversharers, the ones who live for attention, doing anything possible to gain followers, likes, or simply a mention. I wonder how far is too far. How much online abuse or rejection will it take before they break? I hope they draw a line before it's too late. Now, before your attention slips, I will leave you with this. I want you to ask yourself if the person I've been asking you to pay attention to is you.
Lately, I can't tell the difference between my nightmares and daydreams. And every time my heart is heavy, I just let Ley speak, exploding with emotions. I need it under control though, because every time I scream, I swear it makes my brain freeze. And then I get on the stage trying to be boisterous to reach as many as possible with these voices, pouring my heart out just to set an example though. Who the fuck will listen when words contradict my choices, huh? Shit, really my success story won't be hard to believe. Maybe because they know that I wear my heart on my sleeve. Just another brother who used to underachieve. Somebody once asked, would you sacrifice for your family? Maybe because they don't understand it's harder to breathe. Maybe because they don't know the love I have for my nieces. How are we so different when both 100 degrees? Now I'm Celsius, you're Fahrenheit. Still got my appetite. Maybe they thought losses would make the hunger decrease. Sitting in my office while twiddling with my peace. Thinking all the times I've been ignorant to my queen. When I pull my heart, are they giggling at their screens? These are type of thoughts that's been fiddling with my peace, but instead I get high till I'm a skywalker, then I'll come back down to earth. Return of the Jedi, take a sip of red wine. trying to make a piece about my feelings for I'm sober and I've never had a deadline. That's sunrise to bedtime. Now it's time for the next rhyme, see. I've been going through some changes. Told bro I'm working on my next EP. This is one for the ages phase. One was the warm-up. Trying to put my name on a map. Now it's a little bit warmer. You can't say I didn't warn you. You can't leave the door on the latch. Why? I keep my shit on lock. You think you can check in and out when you want to? Trust me, it's really not that. You didn't want to pay attention, so when you show interest, something makes me want to add tax. It's time to adapt. Wordplay and Flow, I go by the name of Ley Speaks. What's up? Energy inside. I love what you did there, that was beautiful still. I want to try something else though. I think I'm going to try split it there. So, from you guys, you're on this side, everyone else, they're there. And I feel like there's more of you here, so I'm going to give you the bigger word. You're going to say wordplay, you're going to say flow. Can you do that for me? Yeah? Cool.
Flow.
Cool. I'm checking you paying attention. Say man. Cool, let's go again.
Wordplay. Flow. Wordplay. Flow. Wordplay. Flow.
Give yourself a round of applause, please. Alright. So, I actually wrote the first, technically second piece last weekend. So, I'm going to ask for your patience with me. This is called BFG. I'm going to go straight in, no intro. They said, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. I was always that awkward middle child. You know, not quite a cool cat, but far from a pussy. Hardly the big dog, but far from a bitch. Trust me. Back when my voice was a little husky, that made me an insecure puppy. But my bark was just as fierce as my bite. So I must have been a pain in the ass, boy, because my mouth was slick, plus I love to fight. Meaning if shit went left, then I was all right. I had my growth spurt around 13, by the way. And to be fair, I was never really on the short side, so the last thing I needed was more height, a couple sniggers from my nick, because I started wearing glasses, which is funny, because I lacked foresight. Of course I was aware that my size is one thing I can't change, but with every inch gained on my slim frame, I started questioning if I'd get more respect. Insane, I know, it's strange, but the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And Bear David's want to claim Goliath been slain, so I had to come up with a sick name. You ready? You ready? Don't laugh, you know. Crazy. Because the man them said, I'm crazy with a fist game, you see. I learned there's no honor in rejecting a fight with this day and in this day and age. You can't just walk around rocking a big chain, but I said, fuck it. I want all the smoke. So who do you fear more? The man with something to prove or nothing to lose? I was both. The hybrid you may have heard before. A polite guy, but I don't mince words. See, I don't like beef. I'm literally a herbivore, so maybe I should save that for the people that deserve it more. And see, I was never really the type to throw my weight around like a bully, I guess. When you know the power you yield, you're more careful how you use it. I was trying to be the friendliest rude boy on ends, man. A walking dichotomy. I was aggressively gentle, respectfully mental, a confused adolescent that was blessed with potential. Isn't that fascinating? When two worlds collide, it's quite poetic. Academics on psychedelics, I unlock my potential by smoking trees. That's the golden keys. And yeah, I love the gal, but I was convinced that I couldn't lotion until they noticed cream. It's mad. I was ready to risk it all for material wealth, and then I had to understand I'm a potent being and let go of the hopeless dreams. That's why there's no stories about banging a mash. And never will I gloat about holding peace. I was that youth with the troublemakers, like, guys, I just want to go home in peace. See, a young black man of my stature can't just act a raging fool without consequences, man. I didn't get that luxury. I've been over 6 foot, but it took the birth of my nieces for me to realize I've got people looking up to me. It's time to don the fuckery. Luckily, I'm street and book smart. Fix up, look sharp. See, it's no secret that I've always had a big heart. No surprise that that's been taken for granted. I had no choice but to step back a little piece, man. I nearly lost my way. I was searching for answers. I let the most beautiful thing about me become a weapon. I rose with scorn, the rose with thorns. Severing bonds with this sharp tongue. And no quantum of solace can ever reverse the harm done. Take it back a little piece.
Yeah, go for it. You got it.
Fix up, look sharp. It's no secret that I've always had a big heart. And no surprise that that's been taken for granted. I had to take a step back. See, I nearly lost my way. I was searching for answers. Now I rose with scorn, the rose with thorns. I let the most beautiful thing about me become a weapon, severing bonds with this sharp tongue. And no quantum of solace can reverse the harm done. It's when I got a nickname, the fridge. They said, butter can't melt. Raw. That really struck a nerve. I mean, it really touched a button because, see me, I'm with the Good Vibes Cartel. Or what? You can't tell. For you to understand who you are, you need to experience so much of what you are not. I know what I am. I know who I am. Sweet, not soft. Respectful, not respectful, but respected. The big, friendly giant.
Come on.
Inside. Okay. How's everyone doing, man? Is everyone good? Yes. Yeah. I just want to take this opportunity to big up everyone I've performed tonight, man. You've all been incredible, man. Big up our host as well. It's been an amazing night. Kind of leads me in beautifully into my next piece. I wrote this at a time, and if you know who I'm talking about, you understand. I wrote this at a time of seeing Miss Yankee and YA perform within a matter of days back to back. I was looking at myself like, God, I need to step my game up, man. The thing, like, I hear loads of things said to me, and I'm kind of one of those people that's like, are you just telling that? That is a mad thing to say to someone, you know, like that is a crazy compliment. And like, it takes a while for me to actually process the things people say to me. So I've never really had faith in my own ability because I was too busy comparing. And sometimes I'll find myself comparing to people who are not even doing what I'm doing, kind of thing. I came to the conclusion that, who's a poet in here, first of all? Yeah, see, we're special, innit? Everyone else is special in their own way, but we are special in this way. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. What makes me special is not what makes them special. What makes them special, we're probably terrible at. You know what I'm saying? So, this is called identity. We are miraculous wonders, wizards and wanderers. That means we're traveling the country and spells get conjured. Bars in abundance, double entendres. It won't be divided. Strength in numbers. tens of hundreds. Could be millions. One day, billions. Actually, maybe not billions. Because see, you're not really brilliant once everyone's brilliant. Yeah, like, if everyone's extraordinary, then that makes me ordinary, and now I'm getting vexed because I know I ain't ordinary. And when I get pissed off, everyone piss off. 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift off. And if you get restless, no hate gestures. I suggest that you jest with the ancestors. Last time they told me, secrets encrypted. All I can tell you is we've been gifted, divinely assisted. Don't get it twisted. Might be the greatest that ever existed. When we touch mic, ears get addicted, rocks turn liquid, tectonic plates on the earth get shifted, spirits get lifted, minds got captured, still take pictures, quick what's the caption, come like a sickness, dose of reality, might want to sick this, drowning in sorrow then, cry for a witness, they're drowning in sorrow, your mind and your business, climbing tomorrow then, writing in scriptures how time can't be borrowed and crying for bitches, please, please, deflate your egos. We ain't heroes, but we are extraterrestrial, next the celestial. We're out of this world yet look down on no one. Gotta stay humble, even if that means even if they know we've got first class delivery, why do they think they can label and box us? Don't give us titles like we are some boxers. Am I a poet, a rapper, or writer? Blood, I can be all or I can be neither. I am an artist. I am the hardest. That doesn't mean I'm too special for classes. The greatest of teachers still learn from their students. Me, I'm a fusion, master, apprentice, and I need that balance in all of my friendships. Will I leave pen at the end of my sentence? Trust, if I do, I'll be back with a vengeance, because we are magical scribes with excellent rhymes, purest of souls, and the zen never dies, pen never dries, when never I sense bad vibes, sever them ties. We are verbal assassins, perform with passion, don't need laxatives to make shit happen. Line up the prophets in orderly fashion, unraveling truths once we get to rapping. Brothers and sisters, matrix glitches, you can ask Morpheus, he knows we're born for this. Might go to war for this, shield and a sword for this. Chip on your shoulder because we're the sauciest. Hate on our energy, hate that it's meant to be, but all of that hate can't change our identity. I said we are... We are finished. What's my time looking like? How many pieces? One more?
You want your outro?
Huh? Yeah, let's get my outro. I mean, do I have time for a little bonus?
Yeah, you can do something.
Yeah? I'll do the outro first, if funny. I'll do the outro first. So I've recently released a little mini, not really like calling it a project, I call it a diary, you know? An audio diary. And track 3 is called Love Birds. The way it came out was actually kind of dope still. That's a story for later. I just want to get into it. I'm excited. I've never performed it before. So cool. Exclusive, you know them ones. Kyrie was actually supposed to be here with me, but unfortunately he couldn't make it, so there you go. Let's go. Catch the words, feel free to join in with me, innit? I took the long way home. It's been a long ass day. I still ain't found serenity, but I'm on my way. I took the long way home. It's been a long ass day. We got Kyrie, man. This guy's too talented, so. Hope you don't want to expect me to sing along. Still waiting for a text back. So much air I got jet lagged. Who's getting the effort you used to give to me? I'm trying to do the maths like we have better chemistry if I changed history. One of life's many mysteries. Right next to how many exes are missing me. Even ones who didn't shoot their shot are missing me. Literally. Picture me telling my bro Kai about this victory. I found the one who had me thinking about a family and more. But if I'm honest, I think it's best we stay platonic. Not trying to start a fight, I ain't on it. I'll just leave you with the sonnet. It's like, why can't we just get along?
Hey.
Why can't we just get along, girl? Ooh. Let me get a... Okay. Alright. It's going again, so let me hear some voices in it. Why can't we just get along? Why can't we just get along, girl? Look, I don't think we're compatible. Look, I don't want to battle you. Because if I win the war, then I'm going to lose you. And the truth is, that's only the collateral. I'm thinking about my mental health. Think I need to fall back and center self. Not even trying to answer the phone. I just need some time alone, and that's why I took the long way home. It's been a long ass day. You've got a heart like Pandora's box. Then you gave me the keys because the door was locked. I've torn this top and ripped my hair. Hoping that this whole damn thing's been a shit nightmare. Wishing I could hit you up so you could sit right here and we can reconcile. But no, you're stubborn like a second child. We're shooting verbal ammunition. Why can't we get along and put the weapons down? But no, we're shooting verbal ammunition. Why can't we get along and put the weapons down? I'm actually obsessed with that still. Okay, so be quiet. I wanna put it to you guys. If you guys wanna hear anything specific, I think I'll perform, especially if there's too many options. I know I think I'll perform, but if anyone has anything that they want to hear, just throw it out.
Birds and bees.
Birds and bees. So you know what's funny? I was literally saying I performed Birds and Bees twice in the last 6 days.
How about Butterfly?
Butterfly effect. I want my verse. Ooh, bird. Okay. See, I'm gonna do that thing where I ask a question knowing that I'm set. So I'm gonna do Gold Dust anyway. Thank you for your suggestions, though. Thank you very much. I've seen a lot of beautiful black women. There's a lot of beautiful women anyway, but this is devoted to the black women. Can you make some noise if you love black women, please? I'm gonna keep it real. That wasn't loud enough for me. I'm gonna try it again. Can you make some noise if you want? If you love black women. Alright, cool. Last time I performed this, I asked someone to be my muse and I looked eyes with them and they didn't even budge. I liked it still. It was a bit mad. Maybe gives me eye contact first. I got one. Okay. A true work of art. Will you be my muse? If I pour my heart, will you be amused? Lost in your eyes, stuck in a maze, the mother of all life. I'm fucking amazed. The Eve gene carrier, yet they complicate natural procedures. I'm sure they're firm believers that something in your DNA birthed leaders. You were the first readers, the first speakers, the first teachers, the first breeders, but then your distant descendants split one into segments, divide, conquer, then fake independence with gestures that nobody even asked for in remembrance, while most black his, forgive me, most black her story doesn't even get the mention. You begged to be equal, but they feared your vengeance, so they labeled you angry and filled with resentment. They never understood you. If they did, they would understand that goddesses are still human. Queens are still people. So they can keep their silver spoons because gold dust is in your breast milk. You are royalty redefined. Sweeter than Demerara, unrefined. Sugar, spice, and everything nice. Your worth, immeasurable. There is no price. Take your weight in gold and triple that thrice, and still the value does not suffice. No gem exists that will compare. Twinkle, twinkle, shine and glare. Glow in the sun, approach if you dare. Someone to elevate, others just stare. You're treated unfair, like you're not wanted here, but a world with no gold dust is making me scared because like the fire needs the air, I won't burn unless you're near. No such thing as nappy hair. Free your coils, flex them locks. I know, the pressure, it's a lot. To conform to what they want. Wearing wigs to interviews gives more chance for their response. We're responsible for giving you everything from gold to bronze. Put you on a pedestal, Afro Queen. You are incredible. So while I marvel at your crown, can we straighten something out? So they will knock your self-esteem and then proceed to weave around discussions about self-love, but leave out the conditions. These Eurocentric standards of beauty are not for my sistrons. Jealous of the honey glaze, even on your bummy days, appropriate your style because they love it in a funny way, your features, your style and your elegance. The beauty down to your intelligence. The thought of you boosts my adrenaline. It's like diamond that's been dipped in melanin and then sprinkled all over with gold dust.
Yeah, man.